This is Wake Up and Lead, a daily podcast where ambitious young professionals learn to lead themselves. I'm your host, Hampton Dortch. Today we're talking about fitness. Everyone, we are 1/3 through the year. We are 1/3 through the year. How crazy is that? And a lot of us have forgotten what our goals were. From a fitness standpoint, we may have completely fallen off the wagon. This is accountability, but also I'm going to give you some encouragement. I have an opinion that I strongly believe in. If you choose to start a new goal or a new habit, not at the new year, it means more to you. And it means more to me. Like if I see someone say, hey, I'm starting this right now, it's kind of a random time, but I'm going to do it going forward. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's, a full year. I think that you're more likely to do it probably because it's harder to make that decision. Because usually we say, I'll wait till next year. And then you start the year and then you fall off track and say, I'll wait till next year. But right now, we're 1/3 through the way of the year. You have 2/3 left to get back on track from a fitness standpoint. And what I always say at the beginning of the year, the parking lot of the gym is completely full for about 2 weeks. And people go and they work out every single day and they're feeling good for a couple of days. And then all of a sudden they are so sore because they've gone way too hard. They've gone from 0 to 100 and they're sore and they can't walk and then they quit. And my advice is always prioritize consistency over intensity first instead of just going all out, because that's not necessarily sustainable if you're starting from nothing. Now, some people are very extreme. I happen to be one of those people. Sometimes I do start things pretty hardcore and I'm able to handle it. That's probably my greatest strength and also biggest weakness depending on the circumstance. But for most people, it's really good to prioritize consistency over intensity. And you master the art of showing up and you cast a vote. Every time you cast a vote, that means that you are voting for the person that you're wanting to become. And so every time you walk into the gym, you are voting to become someone that prioritizes fitness. And you could even say, hey, I'm just going to walk into the gym X amount of days. And I have a friend, Ryan Leak. Well, I wanted to be a friend. I've met him like once. He probably doesn't know who I am. But he says at the beginning of the new year, a couple of years ago, he was just walking in the gym in flip-flops. And one of his friends says, hey, what are you hitting today? And he's like, I don't know. I'm just here. I don't know. And that was him saying, you know what? I'm going to worry less about the exact stuff I'm going to do in the gym and learn to build a habit of showing up. Now, eventually, it's very, very important to build a habit, to build a routine if you want to see success, if you want to continue to grow and get fitter and everything. I'm all about that. But for you that's starting from nothing or that fell off the wagon, prioritize consistency over intensity. Or another way to think about it, be consistently good over occasionally great. Consistently good over occasionally great. And when you're building a habit, if you can't stick to it, it's likely because it's not small enough. So if you want to prioritize fitness and you can't stick to your habit, then I would challenge you to make it small enough. Here's an example. Say, okay, I'm going to do 10 push-ups a day this week. Next week, I'm going to do 15 push-ups a day. Make it as small as you need to make it in order to stick to it. And here's the key. If you make it very, very small, and you don't do it, then you don't care. If you make it small enough and you don't do it, then that means that you don't care, because if it's that easy to do, all you have to do is master the art of showing up, do that small thing, and if you don't do it, you don't care enough. Prime example for me, playing guitar. I've said for years, I want to play the guitar. And I have made very small habits where it was like, okay, I'm going to play for 5 minutes a day. And eventually, I just stopped. That's not because I didn't have 5 minutes. That's because I didn't care enough to actually do it. And I have to live with that. Maybe one day I will care enough. But make the habit small enough. Do it every day. Prioritize being consistently good over occasionally great. And then you can be consistently great over time. It's time for you and me to wake up and lead.